By now, I'm just putting it out there, we may have a new interim head coach. It is the 2021 predictions for the NFC West, thanks to our friends at Continental Tire and Draft Kings. Crash Gladys, Kenny Sargent, Suave, he's part of this big old thing. And how well will you do, Freak Nation, with your picks for the 2021 NFL season, specifically for the NFC West? So let's kick it off with the Cardinals for our first installation. Was that installation or insulation? Let's kick it off with Richard C. Suave and his predictions. And I'm going to pull up the 2021 schedule for your Arizona Cardinals. And Suave, you ready, buddy?
I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited that I'm wearing a women's t-shirt today. I've been teasing this all week. My algorithm is ready. My body is ready. My women's t-shirt is ready. Let's roll.
All right, Richie, we're going to kick it off with Sunday, September 12th, which is coming up in a few days, as the Cardinals visit the Titans. Who you got?
I'm taking the Titans. Loss.
Next weekend is Vikings visiting the Cardinals. Who you got?
I'm taking the Cardinals in that one.
Cardinals visit the Jaguars.
I hope the Cardinals win that game.
Cardinals visit the Rams.
That's a loss for the Cardinals, of course. I will be there in LA for that game, too.
49ers visiting, of course, the Cardinals.
The Cardinals will lose that game.
Cardinals visit the Browns on October 17th.
The Browns will win that game.
Texans visit the Cardinals on the 24th of October.
The Texans will lose that game.
Packers visiting the Cardinals the next weekend.
I can't wait until the Cardinals get bushwhacked in that game by 40 points. That's what's going to happen. The Cardinals will lose.
Cardinals visit the 49ers.
Cardinals will lose that game. They will go 0-2 against the 49ers again.
Panthers versus the Cardinals.
Redemption for Kliff Kingsbury. He's actually going to beat Matt Rule this time. The Cardinals are going to win that game.
Cardinals versus the Seahawks in Seattle.
Loss.
Cardinals versus the Bears in December.
Win.
Rams visit the Cardinals second week of December.
Sean McVay continues his undefeated streak against the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals will lose that game.
Cardinals taking on the Lions.
The Cardinals will win that game.
Colts visit the Cardinals on Christmas Day.
That will be a loss for the Cardinals.
Cardinals visit the Cowboys.
That will be a win for the Arizona Cardinals.
Seattle visits the Cardinals to end the 2021 NFL regular season.
That is going to be a win for the Arizona Cardinals because the Seahawks are already going to be locked in the playoffs and they're not going to play anybody.
The over-under for me prior to that was 6.5. So you're taking the overs with my over-under at 6.5.
I would take the over on 6.5, but I'm taking the Vegas over-under 8.5 wins though.
All right, Crash, are you ready for your predictions for the Cardinals?
Let's do
it. Let's start off with week 1. Titans, Cardinals, of course, this is in Tennessee.
So I'm going to say a shocking win on the Cardinals' part.
Oh, my goodness. Let's go Vikings, Cardinals.
Again, I'm going to go Cardinals. We're still at that unpredictability phase where Kliff Kingsbury thrives. What was the phrase we all used years ago? The
illusion of complexity.
That's what I'm talking about. So, yes, I'm going to go another Cardinals win.
Cardinals, Jaguars. This, of course, is in Jacksonville.
Oh, my gosh. And see, this is where the fan base goes nuts. We're 3-0. See?
Okay, so Cardinals, Rams on October 3rd.
Loss.
49ers visiting the Cardinals.
Even though they're visiting, it's still a loss.
Cardinals visiting the Browns.
Loss.
Texans visiting the Cardinals October 24th.
All right, there's a win.
Packers versus the Cardinals.
Oh, that's a loss.
Cardinals versus the 49ers.
Another loss. And that's up in San Fran. That's a definite loss.
Panthers versus the Cardinals. Panthers here.
I'm going to go loss.
Cardinals versus Seattle, November 21st.
Loss.
Cardinals versus the Bears, the first week of December.
I'm going to go loss, though.
Rams, Richard C. Suave's Rams versus the Cardinals on December 13th.
Loss.
Cardinals versus the Lions on the 19th. That's in, of course, Detroit.
That's a win.
Colts visit the Cardinals Christmas Day.
You know what? I'm going to say loss. I think the Colts will still have enough together by then. I don't have a convincing loss there, but I'm going to say loss.
The day after your daughter's birthday, January 2nd, Cardinals visit the Cowboys.
I'm going to say loss.
And we end it with what Suave seems to think, the already playoff-bound Seattle Seahawks visiting
I'm with him
the
100%
Cardinals.
That the Seahawks, this is going to be a lay-down game for them. So absolutely Cardinals win just because, well, they're not playing anybody on the other end of the ball.
Again, I didn't do the math. Richie, did you take time to do the math for Crasher's predictions?
Damn right I did. So Kenny laid the over-under at 6.5. Crash should be taking the under. You have the Cardinals going 6-11 this year.
Want me to go?
I got the schedule pulled up, Kenny. So I
Okay.
will do the reciting, Crash. You will do the bookkeeping. Is that a deal?
That's a deal.
Okay, here we go. Week 1 at the Tennessee Titans.
Loss.
Week 2 at home against the Minnesota Vikings.
I'm going with Crasher on this. I'm still going to. I'm going to believe that there might be some issues for the Vikings going into week 2. I'm going to give the Cardinals a win.
Week 3 at the Jacksonville Jaguars. And did you know their coach is Urban Meyer now?
Yes, I did. However, someone did quiz me on the current head coaches in the National Football League, and I got, I think, 20 right out of the 32 teams. It's just, it's incredible the amount of turnover in the National Football League. Okay, what did I say? Did I give? Okay, I'm going to say a win against the Jaguars.
I hope they win. Week 4 is in LA at SoFi Stadium against the Rams.
Loss.
Week 5 is at home against the San Francisco 49ers.
I'm going to go ahead and chunk in. I'm going to go ahead and, I'd say chunk in a win for the Cardinals on that one. Mm-hmm.
Week 6 on the road in Cleveland.
Loss.
Week 7 at home against Houston.
Win.
Week 8 at home against Green Bay.
Loss.
Week 9 on the road in San Francisco.
Loss.
Week 10 at home against Carolina.
Loss.
Week 11 in Seattle.
Loss.
Week 13 in Chicago.
I originally had this as a win, and I'll stick with it. Win.
Week 14 at home against the Rams.
Loss. By now, I'm just putting it out there, we may have a new interim head coach. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, come on. That's not happening. No.
Yeah,
no.
Bidwell didn't have the balls to release Kliff midway through the season when he realizes that this team continues to crap the bed with a subpar head coach. He does not have the balls. He makes everyone suffer with his miserable ass through the season. So, no, he didn't have the balls to cut Kliff by then. All right, go ahead.
If they didn't get rid of Steve Wilkes mid-season, they're not going to dump Kliff Kingsbury mid-season. Let's be honest with that. Okay, Week 15 is in Detroit.
Loss.
Week 16 at home against the Colts.
Time of
Loss.
the year.
Loss.
Yeah, there we go.
Week 17 in Dallas.
Win.
Week 18 to close out the season. That sounds really weird. At home against Seattle.
We're going to be in such disarray by that. I'm not going to follow your lead on this. Remember how we like to lose to backup quarterbacks as Cardinals fans. Who knows who's going to be behind the center with Seattle by then while Russell's kicking back with his legs up in the air in a Hawaiian shirt smoking a big old heater. I'm going to get that big loss.
The results are, Crash, what do you got?
6-11.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yep. There are issues with this team, and his initials are KK. San Francisco, look, 6-10 last year. You don't like to go to look at the injury situations with the teams, but that was a fact with that team. 6-10. There were trainers that were injured. There were benches that were injured because of the number of injured players on that team. I've got San Francisco winning that division. I've got the Rams in the 2 spot.
That's interesting.
If Russell Wilson wasn't with Seattle, I'd have Seattle finishing in the cellar. Right now, I've got the Cards in the cellar, Seattle, the Rams, and then the 49ers. I know, Suave, you're not a Jimmy G fan. You don't have to be a Jimmy G fan to realize how well they're going to go.
I think they're going to do great this year, but they're still not going to make that next step up unless they go to Trey Lance. That's their only option for me if they want to actually win the NFC West and make a run to the NFC title. That's really your only roadblocks are going to include Green Bay again, Tampa Bay, and the winner of the NFC West. And it's a pretty cakewalk to the Super Bowl after those 3 teams. So if they want to win, they got to go to Trey Lance earlier than not. And I want to talk more about this when we do the Niners predictions too, because I'm going to guarantee it right now, Trey Lance plays in multiple games as a starting quarterback this year for the 49ers.
Suave, that's one nut. Give me 2 nuts and say Trey Lance is going to play in more games than Jimmy G. Don't say it yet. We'll save it for the 49ers predictions, okay? Freak Nation, what say you for the 2021 NFC West, specifically with the Cardinals? Hit us up at Kenny and Crash. There's our predictions. Be sure to subscribe to the channel right now. See you.